Hello everybody from Plant Reviews UK. Today is the 23rd of May and it is a quite overcast day today and quite rainy. And I talk today about a plant that I think really enjoys this kind of weather, and weirdly enough is actually a plant from Australia that everybody think as a country really arid and hot, but actually I think that evidently this plant comes from an area of Australia where it is distributed in environments a lot different from the kind of landscape that most of us think when they think about Australia. So this plant is the Philotheca myoporoides that was previously classified as Eriostemon myoporoides and is commonly known as long leaf wax flower or Gin Tonic Plant because actually crushing the leaves, the leaves spread a scent that is very peculiar, really like gin and tonic. This is the best description of the scent of the fragrance that this plant produces when you crush the leaves. It is a plant that is in the family Rutaceae, so the same family to which citrus fruits belong, as well as many other plants that actually usually have very fragrant flowers. However, this plant, unfortunately, even if has incredibly beautifully fragrant leaves, in my opinion doesn't have fragrant flowers at all. I can just smell the gin and tonic scent of the leaves that I just crushed, but really the flowers, in my opinion, don't have any scent. Anyway, I'll get back to the description of the flowers later on. This plant is endemic to southeast Australia, and it is a shrub that can grow up to 2 meters tall and wide, and has peculiar leaves ovate, well actually almost I would say, yeah, oblong ovate, yeah, quite intensely green. And on the leaves, as you can see, there are kind of small protuberances like glands. So indeed, I found that this kind of leaf indeed is called glandular warty leaf, and the flowers are beautiful flowers. They are the buds are pinkish, as you can see. I'm trying to focus, sorry, sometimes is a bit difficult with my mobile camera, so you can see this very delicate pink. However, the flowers open white and they have bright orange stamens. The flowers, even if they are small, they are about 1.5 centimeters in diameter. They have a really subtle beauty, and I have to say that this plant, you can see yourself, blooms profusely. I bought this small plant last autumn, and it was a little bit smaller than it is. I have to say that it's actually, these are all new growths. This is a plant that actually grows quite well and quite quickly, and is quite impressive how such a small plant was able to produce already an incredible amount of flowers. In my opinion, this is obviously a cutting, in a real cutting. I don't think that this plant came from seed, because I think that the stem is too thick to be from seed. A seed of this height would have been a lot thinner, the main stem. However, I'm definitely very pleased of the beauty of this plant and of such a beautiful display after, I mean, in a plant that is so small. Flowers, as I said at the start of the video, unfortunately are not fragrant. Most plants in the family Rutaceae have beautifully fragrant flowers. Well, imagine the orange flowers or the quinota flowers, the lemon flowers. They have a beautiful scent. Unfortunately, this plant has a beautiful scent only in the leaves. The plant prefers, I found, light shade, doesn't really like the bright sunshine, and really I found it because this plant, I found, already this winter needs a lot of moisture. I found that when the soil dries out, the leaves really gets droopy almost immediately. What happened is that I found that this plant is often sold as a conservatory plant or a greenhouse plant, as a tender plant. However, I kept for some days in my house indoors, in an area as fresh as possible, but trying to keep the soil quite dry because it was still quite cold, and the result was that the plant really didn't like the position at all, because started basically to gets the leaves droopy, and also were starting to be quite brown. You can actually see the damage. The plant lost also some of the leaves, so I got really worried. And then I thought that possibly, like other citrus fruits, the plant does best at pretty cold temperature, as long as the soil doesn't get waterlogged. So what I did is moving from indoors to the front porch, so outside in winter, however protecting against snow or rainfall. We had a very cold winter this year in Kent. Kent is a county in England where I live, and we had temperatures of -5, -6 for a few days. So I put it in under the porch without watering it, considering that the temperature was so cold, and the result was that the leaves still get too droopy. So I thought really this plant needed evidently moisture, so I put it outdoors. However, I put in a small saucer with a little bit of water, and actually the plant stayed well, even if continuing to be outdoors. And actually, by the time I decided to put the plant in the saucer with water, the temperature was already over 0, so the water never actually get frozen. So I never put actually this plant in standing water when the temperature are below 0. However, since the temperature were about 3, 5, 6 degrees, the plant has been always in standing water, and I have to, like now, and this plant, as you can see, is really thriving in this condition. So I read that this plant needs moist, about well-drained soil, but in my opinion, at least when the temperature is above 0, the plant really needs a lot of water. It's very sensitive to drought, and this is obviously particularly important in the hot days of spring and summer. So what I would definitely recommend for this plant about the soil, I found this plant like acidic soil. I didn't repot this plant yet. I will obviously need to, because it has lots of roots, and I will repot obviously in acidic soil. I will put some vermiculite to improve the aeration of the soil. However, really this plant needs moisture, so this you have to put the pot, basically, in my opinion, always with water in the saucer, especially in the hot spring and summer days, where the risk of dehydration for the plant is a lot higher. About the exposure, as I said, I believe that this plant prefers light shade, or at least partial shade. Indeed, now is in an area of my garden that takes direct sun only in the first few hours of the morning, and actually put it in near where my rhododendrons, Stauntonia, and orchids and hostas are. As you can see, I'm trying to show you from this way, because really you can see that this is my shade border ferns, and this is the reason being that I really don't want to risk this plant getting dehydrated if I put it in full sun. And you can see the plant is blooming profusely, so definitely I believe that this is the best position I can give it. And also about the water, as I said, I can't stress it enough. Water it very well and keep it moist. This is the most important. As I said, some website, including the website I bought this plant, that is Hayloft in the UK, is a beautiful variety of quite unusual plants, is recommended, was selling it as a tender plant. However, I found another website that this plant is reported actually hardy down to -10 degrees. That is about 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is hardy down to USDA zone 8. That basically is most of the United Kingdom, as well as many temperate countries. So I definitely am going to keep the plant outdoors at all time. What I would do, just to avoid the risk of the frost, the direct contact of the snow damaging the leaves, is possibly put it, like I did this winter, under a porch in case of forecasted snowfall. And keep it there in the days where snow is forecasted. So I would probably recommend in the United Kingdom or in the USDA 8 to keep this plant in a pot as a patio plant, so you can put it in a saucer with water, standing water all the time during spring and summer. And when the temperature drops, you can obviously keep the plant moist, watering as demanded, but ensuring that the soil keeps moist. You can obviously keep it in the saucer full of water. However, yeah, you can see basically 1 centimeter of water is enough for the plant. And then during winter, when snow is forecast, put it in a protected area such as a conservatory or a greenhouse, or even under a porch. Really, the problem is not the temperature below zero, as long as they don't fall below -10 degrees. The problem is the possibly the contact, this direct contact of snow and the leaves. However, it might take snow, I'm not sure, because I didn't put the plant outside in direct contact of the snow, but in my opinion I want to keep it safe at the moment. When this plant will grow, I will try to propagate it by cutting, and then I can experiment with one of the plants, obviously putting outside, putting outdoors, even in case of snow. As usual, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, would be great if you can please give a thumbs up, and if you like this video and the other videos on my channel, would be great if you can please subscribe. It is completely free for you, but in this way YouTube gets notified that you like my videos, and in turn can promote my channel on the YouTube platform, and obviously support me through advertising. As usual, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.